that I finished my personal development motivation one. You can go back and see the previous videos. Also, there are interviews with entrepreneurs. Um, I'll be doing different topics, probably from the new year. This is just a one-off that I thought of whilst I went to the business show last week. And also I'll be doing a series on careers as well. But I just wanted to talk about entrepreneurship. Now, I know it's Friday, Black Friday, so the sales are on today. It's the biggest sales of the year so far until Christmas. Christmas is soon upon us, and then it'll be New Year, and it'll be 2018. So all I wanted to talk about is for people who are looking to create something rather than just go out and consume. We're all consumers. I consume. I'm a customer as well, as an employee, but I also look at other ideas as well, entrepreneurial ideas. I was just going to say that with the season upon us, you wanted to set up a small side business. If you are, especially if you're working full time and you've got family commitments, probably the best ones to look at where you don't have to put an awful lot of money or time is probably online. Online, internet, call it what you will, marketing. For an example, back in 1994, one of the richest men in the world, I think he is the richest man in the world now, being Bill Gates of Microsoft, Jeff Bezos, had an idea while he was working somewhere of doing books retailing on the internet, which had just come in a couple of years previously. And obviously it's grown and grown and grown, and now it's a multi-billion-dollar corporation. They've got adverts on TV, their channels, but he came up with something that he created, rather than created a bookstore, but now it's going to grocery. They recently took over Whole Foods for about $10.7 billion. So they'll be opening soon Amazon stores where you won't even need staff if they just use the card scan or the phone system. Another example is Steve Jobs, who created Apple back in the late 70s, along with his colleague Steve Wozniak, and now it's the most valuable company in the world. As you can see, with the success of the iPhone, the iPad, the iMac, iTunes, and their slogan is "Think differently." Now, I'm not asking you to get to those giddy heights, but I am saying that if you are looking to start something, maybe something online, or maybe you could go buy something wholesale and sell it wholesale, buy it from someone and sell it to someone. Or if you're interested in something a bit more tangible, you could look into a property investment where you could buy a property on auction. Obviously, you would need a certain amount of capital to start that and do it up and either flip it or rent it out. But then you've added value. These are what entrepreneurs do. They add value. They look for a problem and then find out where the pain is, and then they look for a solution to that problem. And that's why they grow and grow and grow. Some businesses stay as hobbies because they're looking at lifestyle businesses. Others build empires like Sir Richard Branson or Lord Alan Sugar. In America, you've got Michael Dell, although he's not as popular at present. He was a property developer. Donald Trump. Like I said, the late Steve Jobs. You've got Jeff Bezos of Amazon. You've got Sergey Brin and Larry Page, who created Google, which have 80% of the traffic. At that time when they started back in 1998, there were loads of other search engines, I remember, which is probably my age as I'm in my, let's say, coming to my twilight years. But back then, they just had a simple idea in a garage of becoming a search engine. Now they've got everything. They've expanded into anything. Basically, they've got phones. You've got Google Mini. You've got driverless cars that are coming soon. You had Google Glasses. They've taken that brand and extended it all over the place. Very similar like Sir Richard Branson does with his Virgin empire. Got everything from planes, trains. Now he's going to go into the galactic travel next year. The same with the irrepressible multi-billionaire that is Elon Musk. Unusual name, which is why most people remember it. He's also going into galactic travel, has in very degrees of success with his Tesla cars. He was one of the founding members of PayPal along with Peter Thiel. But like I said, you don't need to invent anti-gravity or something that would go back in time, although that would make you a fortune. Just come up with everyday items. When you're looking around, look for opportunities. Keep your ears and eyes open. Have to write ideas down. What things in life irritate you? Maybe you can find a solution to it. Most people I know, they go around saying, "Gee, oh God, I wish someone would invent that." Why don't you look into it, research it, look at inventing something, creating something? You could, if you wanted to, create what's called information products. These are CDs, DVDs that give information. Now, the value is in the information, not in the medium or the media that it's transmitted on. So, like a CD, normal CD with music on probably costs you £10, £20. A CD that would give you for instance, let's say, um, the lottery numbers. The 7 lottery numbers may cost £1 million, but then you could win 10 million. Or you could look at investing in gold and silver. There are many, many opportunities. One simple business you could do for income is just doing ironing for people. I know there's apps now that for ironing and dry cleaning because technology is going so fast. But you could ask your neighbours, the ironing doing. Most people don't like ironing, don't have the time for it. Other thing is cleaning houses or flats. Window cleaning. Window cleaning is a very good business, cash generative. You could start with just your neighbours and then build up from there. I know people have been very, very successful in window cleaning. One guy who's a very successful entrepreneur, who's a multimillionaire, one of his first businesses was window cleaning. And if you want to see the tags, his name is Neville Wright. He started with that and built the largest baby retailer in the UK before it was sold to one of the 4 major supermarkets. An insurance company. You could start an insurance company. That there's very competitive areas that they are, but you could start a niche in insurance. One of the other guys, author of A Diary of a Fortune Hunter, Lyndon Wood, when he was 19, he set up his first business. He had no contacts, no money, no job, but he still went for it. A lot of people think that entrepreneurs are born and not made. And maybe sometimes the media perpetuates that idea, but that's not true. Before the 19th century, most people were entrepreneurs. Our ancestors were all entrepreneurs, you know. And if you're working full time and you love your job, which some people do, some people don't, it might be good to do something on the side. Creating is what we're here for, to create and to contribute. We all have the entrepreneurial spark within, but some people take it further than others. Um, I admire entrepreneurs themselves because they've created something from nothing. They haven't just consumed. They're leaving a legacy, maybe to the children or maybe to the world. They've looked at a problem and they've gone through vast obstacles. They've never given up. They've been persistent. They've never given up on the dream, and they've succeeded. They've also used failure as feedback rather than as permanent. I mean, failure is never fatal. Neither is success. It's temporary. It's just you need to find another way to get around to building a business. Now, don't get me wrong. Building a business is hard work. It will take a lot of sacrifice. But imagine what you become as you build your own business. Now, you're even technically, we are all into self-employed, as one of my most favorite motivational speakers, Brian Tracy, says we're all self-employed. No one has a job for life. There's not much security, but you can become, if you're working for a company, you can add value to your boss and your customers and your suppliers by becoming what's called an entrepreneur, coming up with ideas that would save time and money or create time and money. Now, I will be continuing with this series, but obviously I just thought I'd come back on the YouTube channel. I know I've been away for some time. I had some personal things to deal with. Has been a bit of a tough year, but as Brian Tracy says, what does kill makes you stronger as well. And this is the thing: you can come up with anything your mind you can focus on. You just need to be open up to opportunities. What I would suggest you do is, like I said, carry a notebook, or think of things that you could sell, maybe even on online, like eBay or on Amazon. There's a boot seller out called Spock. You could sell on that as well. What I'm getting at is that you can do this. It is possible. Now, you may not build a massive empire. You may not become seriously wealthy. Obviously, it determines on dedication, sacrifice. On the other hand, you may become successful. You may be able to scale up from a process or strategy called bootstrapping and scale up your business. But then you could then take the employees, which means that your team then starts developing the business. So you work in on the business rather than in the business, because as a business owner or entrepreneur, you'd be doing everything yourself to begin with. Or if you have your wife or girlfriend or brother or sister or friend that could help with you, because sometimes two heads are better than one. This is going to be a bit of a longer video than the others because I just want to get my point across. This is not just for me to say that, yeah, go out and start a business, because I know it's not easy. It isn't easy. I've done businesses in the past. Some of them haven't succeeded. I looked at other opportunities and some have succeeded. But you learn as you go along. The difference between being an employee and an entrepreneur is no one has given you that title. You can become an entrepreneur pretty much start of today, or even tomorrow, or even after Christmas. You've got entrepreneurs that are starting in their teens to people in their 80s. And it's not just about the financial reasons. Most entrepreneurs start businesses because they look for a problem to a solution to a problem, or they've got something to prove to themselves and to the world in general, or they found something that they know there's a gap in the market. Now, I've got some tags of entrepreneurs that I admire. Now, the list isn't exhaustive, but they sort of like helped me on my way. And another thing you could do is maybe write a book. If you're a consultant or a coach, or you do something freelance, that could build your credibility, because obviously there is a lot of noise in the marketplace. And how do you distinguish yourself from someone else? Um, if you're in property, if you're an estate agent like I was, could distinguish yourself by branding yourself, so people come to you rather than your competitors. You need something that distinguishes, something that stands out. Now, you will get your critics and you will get your haters, but that's just part of life. It means that you're actually going out there, sticking your neck out, going for the grapes, as they call it, rather than just sitting doing nothing. I mean, most people, even the most successful entrepreneurs and business people, they get criticized constantly. I don't know if it's partly jealousy or if it's just because people think they're lucky, but there is a lot of sacrifice, a lot of hard work, a lot of ingenuity that goes into building a business. Now, that's not to say that, if you not the entrepreneurial type, which I disagree, I think everyone is, if you decide that you enjoy your job, you can use ideas. We've all been given the same brain and the same mind. It's just the utilizing that, accessing those parts of the mind, specifically subconscious. And I know I've spoken about this before, previously in my videos, accessing those areas. I mean, the good idea would be to write ideas down, maybe 10, 20, 50 business ideas. Don't discount them, just write them down and then analyze them. Have a look at the ones that you could do. I mean, you can do anything from widgets, products to services. You could do YouTube videos, you could do ebooks, you could do webinars. You could teach people on certain websites like Udemy. You could sell products on ClickBank. You could do what Shah Wusman does. She does Facebook marketing. I would have a look at Shah's website. Really brilliant. She's an author of several books as well, and she's got a mentoring program. One of my favorite entrepreneurs is James Sinclair. He just called him the Energizer Bunny because he just oozes that energy and passion. And although he's very wealthy and successful, I think he was like that from the beginning. If you don't, also what you need is when you're starting a business is you need your own self-belief. You have to believe that it works. You have to have that self-belief and that self-confidence, because if you don't believe it, how are you going to convince customers to buy your product or service? Or if you build a business and you want investors, how are you going to convince them? It is not an easy road, but the amount of personal growth and development you have, and the fact that you will say that, I created that, that was mine, that was something that I created from scratch, from thin air, you should be very proud of. I'm just going to leave this as a one-off, because I will be continuing probably over the Christmas period and maybe over New Year with a new series of coaching videos on consulting, entrepreneurship, or even career issues. If you have anything that you're thorny with careers, I've had career mentors before that have helped me out. If I can't, then I can maybe put you in the right direction. The thing to ask is, when you're stuck or coming up against a brick wall or obstacle, you shouldn't just say, "It's happening to me." You should say, "What can I do? What can I do? What's the solution here? Or who can I ask?" That might be a better a question to ask. If you start asking better questions, you'll get better answers. As one of the world's top entrepreneurs and coaches, Anthony Robbins, always says, is in the moments of your decisions, your destiny is shaped. So, despite you may agree or disagree with me, your life is determined by your choices and decisions you make, by circumstances. The circumstances may have as a result of the choices you make, but you can always change them. I'm going to leave you with this, in that if you are going to become an entrepreneur, then the most important thing to think about is, what are you contributing? What are you contributing? What are you adding value to? How are you adding value to your customers and your clients? Um, how are you showing up, basically? What are you doing to increase your business? And if you're lacking in certain areas, then you can always outsource them, or as you build your business, you can recruit employees or even apprentices that will help you with the business. And as you grow, you'll grow as a person. There's two schools of thought. Some people think that it's better to stay as a one-man band, which is fine if you're happy with that. Other people prefer a partnership. Other people want to build big teams and big empires. But whatever it is, it's personal to you. Remember, success is personal. It's not only a destination; it's a journey as well. And if you are, as I say, working for a company, whether it be a small company, a charity, school, enterprise, ask yourself how you can grow, what you can add. My favorite personal development, although the late Jim Rohn, who was also a mentor to a lot of our modern day motivational speakers, said, is if you work on your job, you make a living. If you work hard on yourself, you make a fortune. And when you're working, do more than you get paid for. Now, I know this is antithesis to a lot of people, and they're going to say, "Oh, Raj, what are you talking about?" But if you do more than you get paid for, you will add more, you'll grow more. Your bosses may notice and say, "Wow, this person, we want to keep him," which means then, you'll be what they class as indispensable. They'll want to keep you because you're adding value to the company. At the end of the day, companies are there to serve customers. That's what they're there to, and make profit. Um, if you start your own company, think about this. Think how you can become, what vision you have for the business. Not just 1 year, 3 years, 5 years, 10 years, 20 years, decades, or even generations. You want the business to live long after you've gone. You want it to pass it as legacy to your children. You want to put it in a charitable trust, and you can have that as an asset. A lot of people start property businesses because they've got something tangible. It doesn't have to be as large scale as that. You could start with something small and scale up. You could sell on Amazon, you could sell on eBay, you could sell on Shop, you could sell on majority of online businesses and online portals. There's one called Etsy for crafts as well. Um, I'll just, like I said, I know this has gone on a bit, but I wanted to share my message to say that the essence of this message is to see if you can go and create something, not just consume. Yes, we're all consumers. We like to consume. We like to buy things. That's great. I'm not saying not to buy things, but see if you can create something. You may have a skill or a knowledge that people may pay for, or people may just listen to you because they feel they can resonate with you. That's what you need to get people to trust you, to follow you, and you need to be genuine. You know, if product is faulty or your service doesn't come up to scratch, apologize. Because at the end of the day, you want to sleep at night. Um, we're only here on a short while on this planet. Some people, obviously, they have their lives cut short, which is tragic. And I've personally had people close to me that passed away, which has made me even realize even more that while we are here, we need to make the best of who we are. Wouldn't it be a shame when you came to the last day on earth where you met the person that you would become? Or you were sitting in a rocking chair when you're 70, 80 with your grandchildren and just saying, and they asked you, grandfather or grandmother, what did you do? How did you live your life? And you didn't have any words to them to say, just regrets. You know, what would be that would be a total waste of life. It's better if you try and fail than not try at all. Because at least you failed, you could say that you tried. If you then this thing, you may even succeeded. You know, leave you with this. Um, Another quote from my one of my late favorite motivational speakers, who always gives me a lift, is Zig Ziglar. He says, "You can have anything you want in life as long as you help enough other people get what they want." And with that, I'll leave you. Um, if you do want to subscribe to my YouTube channel, I will be launching a new series, probably be after Christmas now. And yeah, any comments that you've got, good or bad, just let me know. And I'll hopefully see you either next month in Christmas 2017 or in the new year in 2018. And I just want to wish everyone, I know it's early, a very Merry Christmas and a very Happy New Year.